Diva say what?
Hey there, what's up, Gay Fresno? It's me, the Diva X, and we're back here for another Diva Say What. So let's get right into the question. Tonight I'm reading it off my iPhone because, as you can tell, I'm shooting in another location. So the question is, I have a friend who always seems to disappoint me. No matter how much I work with him and support him, he ends up deciding things in his favor. He never really considers anyone else, even though he says he does. He's got people around him who support him, but he always ends up being selfish. How do I stop being his friend without making a scene and have him badmouth me to everyone else? There's a few things to talk about with this one. I can totally relate. I currently have a friend, and actually last night it just escalated to a whole other level. But I do have a friend who is very similar to what I think you're saying. And as a friend, you and myself, I think it's important to have an open communication with people who you consider your friend, and I think that you should be able to come to them with any kind of issues and or complaints that you may have, and hopefully, ideally, they'd be taken into consideration as their friend, which is sometimes the case and sometimes not the case, which in my case isn't the case. The way I've handled my situation is there were some instances that I wasn't particularly fond of, and so what I did was sat my friend down and said, hey, you know, I don't like the way you X, Y, and Z when it comes to me and our friendship. So here's the deal. Unless that you're going to treat me the way I feel I need to be treated as your friend, then I think that we need to figure out the situation, because I don't think it's not what I want as out of my friendships, and I'm not too sure if you're getting what you want. And I think having that open dialogue with someone and making them understand what you're saying versus just coming at them and just saying, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't like that, because then they're feeling attacked, right? So you don't want that. And I think it's just, you know, expressing as to why you feel certain things about certain things, which it sounds like you've done. And at that point, it's up to them and how they want to take either take your consideration, take your comments and turn it around, or do nothing with it and continue to act the same way they do, which is the case in my situation, where I, you know, again, sat my friend down and was like, hey, I don't like how you treat me when it comes to this situation. I don't like when you do X, Y, and Z. And he continued not to care, and so I am no longer as close friends. We're still friends, but just no longer as close as we were. And it sucks, because I did consider this person a very good friend, which apparently, if it's enough to email, I'm assuming that you feel the same about your friend. However, you need to take care of yourself before you can take care of anyone else. And if they continue to make the bad decisions, then that is now on them. You've expressed your concerns, you've expressed your emotions, you've expressed how you feel, and if they don't care enough about you to take your feelings and your concerns into consideration, then maybe that person shouldn't be as close as a friend as you may have been in the past. Unfortunately, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. As far as having that person go around and bad-mouthing you, there's no way to control that. I think if you did it in a right way, like I'm saying, you know, have this conversation, have this open dialogue with a person, you might be able to limit the amount, because then that person at least has a little bit more understanding as to where you're coming from. But if you just all of a sudden just cut them out of your life and no longer whatever, I think that might bring on more harsh emotions and more harsh rumor spreading about you, versus the way, like I said, is just sitting it down and having that open dialogue. And that way, if it does come around to you getting bad mouth, you can sit and say, you know what, I'm no longer this person's friend because X, Y, and Z. And that's what I do. I mean, I hear things that this person feels about me and shares about me with other people, but it's all out of anger. And if it's enough, if you're enough of a friend to have someone be angry about no longer being your friend, then you might mean a little bit more to them, but they didn't take you into consideration at first, so I don't quite understand as to why they would badmouth. But that's that's how it goes down in the gay community, as far as my experiences. But yeah, I just think just having an open dialogue and being able to, you know, present your case. If it doesn't happen, which it doesn't sound like the person's been listening to you thus far, then hey, maybe it's no longer, maybe this friendship is no longer working out for either of us. So that is my advice. Hopefully it works for you, and hopefully it all fares out, and hopefully you don't get bad mouth, which we all hope, but sometimes it just doesn't work out in our favor. So that is it for me, and I hope this video has had some kind of, or shared some thoughts and opinions of my own that you can use. And for everyone else, keep sending those questions in, because we like them, I like them, I enjoy them. And that is it. So thank you guys, and make sure you continue to log on to gayfresno.com.